Hi, welcome to practice 6. So for this practice, you're going to need a prop, whether that's a yoga brick. It doesn't have to be one of these cork bricks, it can be one of the foam ones, or whether it's one of the yoga blocks, which are the flatter ones. If you don't have any of those to hand, you could perhaps use a book, but if you don't have a book, we can improvise using our arm. Now, the practice is going to be based around oiling into the groins as well as the hip sockets, a little more mobilisation into the pelvis than the previous practice. We're also going to be exploring hamstring lengthening, leg lengthening as well. Let's do it! Okay, here we go. So have your prop handy, so whether you're using a brick or a block or a book, place it to the top of your mat. We're going to come to all fours. Now as you arrive on all fours, quite simply, we're going to step the left foot to the top of the mat. Now as we step the foot to the top of the mat, inch your left foot more to the left side. Turn your toes out so they're at about a 45-degree angle, and then roll onto the outer edge of your foot. Pick up your brick and start with the brick on its highest side. Plant your palms down so you've got a good solid base to rest your arms on. We're going to move the hips, circling the hips around and around. Now keep the movement subtle and small, so we can find a sense of how our hips feel in these very beginning stages of the practice. Change direction. Come to stillness, and let's explore the movement a little bit more. So we're going to walk the foot back in just a little bit. This time plant the sole of the foot to the earth. Keep our hands onto the brick. Now some of you might want to inch your back knee away from you just a little. So I did that by tucking my toes under, lifting my back knee and wiggling my back knee a little further away. Now our left arm, can you wedge it into the side of your left thigh? So we stop the leg from moving around a bit. This time as we rotate the hips, the leg has no choice but to stay still, and we get fluidity in the pelvis. Change direction. Possibly take your brick a little lower. Keep length through the front of the body. And come to stillness. Let's all bring our brick a little higher up. If you don't have a brick, you can place your hands to your thigh. Now turn your left toes up to the sky. Untuck your back toes and start to lengthen your left leg. Keep length in the front of the body as well as the back of the body. Find a sense of release as you open out into the back of your left leg. Rock back up onto your front foot. And again, take a breath in. And as you exhale, start to lengthen your front leg. You might sit back just a little more, you might not, you might be quite high. So explore your range of movement. You're going to do that one more time. So lift up, rocking back onto your front foot, let the chest lift. The pelvis slightly drops down for this one, and then lift the pelvis back up, sit yourself back, possibly all the way back. You might take your brick a little lower, or your book if you're holding onto a book. If you're holding onto the thigh or the floor, you can do exactly the same. The main thing is that we keep this length in the front of the body, so we're not rounding our spine down towards our leg. We're keeping lifted. Now a little extra here. You might want to turn your left toes to the left. Ugh. Some people that really resonates with, and other people, yeah, they don't enjoy it so much. Breathe with the sensations of what you feel. So make sure you're not holding your breath. Rock the leg back up and lift yourself back, swapping back to your knees. And let's shake off the movements. So these beautiful circular movements that we've been articulating with in the last few practices. Change direction. Let the head loll from side to side, so there's a releasing through the neck as well. Now let's do all of that on the other side. So come to stillness and let's step the right foot forward. Bring your prop to the inside of the foot. Take a moment to set up as you inch your right foot more towards the right. Turn your toes out about 45 degrees and then roll onto the outer edge of your foot. Keep your brick quite high to begin with and then start the rotations. Now, you rotate the pelvis, but the leg is going to get involved here. That's okay. We're working with an open hip here, so the groins are slightly open. Now, the reason we're working this way is it can be a little more accessible for some people. Change direction. Now let's move this on. Come to stillness. Walk your right foot a little closer in and plant the sole of the foot down. Maybe take a look at your back leg, tucking the back toes under, possibly pick up the knee and move the leg away a little if you need to feel that extra sense of spaciousness in your stance. As you wedge your right arm into your right thigh, keep the chest lifted and see if you can use this arm to stabilise the movement in the legs. So we're not flapping the legs side to side. You slightly push against your arm and rotate into the hips. It's all in the hips. Change direction. Check that you're breathing. Come to stillness. We're going to keep these back toes nice and flat. Keep the brick on the higher side if you've lowered it down. Turning your right toes up to the sky. Keep your chest lifted. Lift from the sternum. So there is a little engagement into the back of the body as well. Lift your right toes and start to lengthen through the back of your right leg. Bowing your chin to your chest. Rock back up onto your right foot. Slight drop of the pelvis. And again, lengthen. Toes rise to the sky. Reach your arms away. You might sit back a little more. Again, you can remember to place your hands to the earth if you don't have a block, maybe hands to the thigh. Rock back to your front foot, little lift of the chest. Last one, maybe you'll sit all the way back, keep the chest lifted, chin slightly down. Again, you might turn your toes out to the right side, could feel lovely. You could think, oh my goodness, no. Breathe with the sensations that are arising, especially if they're one that feel quite uncomfortable. As you bring your toes back to the sky, rock back up onto your front foot, release your brick. Bring both your legs back together. Now tuck your toes under, reach your arms long, place your fingertips to the earth, bow your forehead down. Take a long breath, a long in-breath and out-breath. Then lift back to all fours. Now bring your knees underneath your hips here, and your wrists can be underneath your shoulders for this one. Extend your right arm forward and your left leg back behind you. Now with the left leg extended, keep the pubic bone slightly tucked towards your belly button, so you feel a strengthening through the lifted leg. Inhaling. Exhale, bring your right elbow and your left knee together underneath the body. One more. Extend the leg, extend the arm, rearrange so you feel tone in the leg and the abdomen. Bring the elbow and knee together, and this time hold and physically hold on to your leg as you lift your left leg up towards your chin. And then step your foot between your hands. Now your foot might not get there, but if it doesn't get there, give it a little hand, give it a little wiggle. Lift the body, raise the arms up to the sky. And let's explore our lunge position. So we're going to slightly wiggle our front foot forward and allow our front hips to sink down. Now this isn't something I do very often in my classes or my practice, because I don't feel it's particularly healthy to keep hanging in our joints, but we're going to explore ranges of motion. So we're going to sink down, and then we're going to lift up, and we're going to slightly extend the front leg, so we create space in our front hip. Let's go again, so sink down, and then lift back up. And slightly push back. Bring both hands back to the mat, both knees touch down. As we bring our left arm forward and our right leg back behind. Again, switch on what needs to be switched on. The abdomen and then the gluteal that's lifted. Take a breath in, exhale, elbow and knee together. One more, extend the arm, extend the leg, elbow and knee together. Now wrap your left hand around the right shin as you bring the knee into the nose, and then step your foot forwards. Give it a hand if it doesn't get there. Your body rises, and then your arms lift. Wiggle your front foot forwards. And let's explore our range of motion. So sink into our front hip and then push back. So we create space in our right groins. It's a little movement as we edge ourselves backwards. Go again, into the front hip. And then push ourselves back. Find a middle ground. Take a breath in, exhale, hands touch the earth, and as we do, we're going to step our back foot to our front. We're going to hold on to our elbows, take a little rock from side to side, keep the knees bent. Now releasing the hands to the earth, let the back of the neck grow long. Placing your feet so they're hip bone distance apart, heels in line with second and third toe. Bring the palms of the hands underneath the soles of the feet. Let the crown of the head drop down and start to straighten one leg. Keep the other leg bent. Bending the knee and then straightening the other leg. Keep going from side to side, straightening one leg at a time. So notice how that feels Maybe one leg is a little more resistant than the other. Now, once you've taken both sides evenly, come back to your knees. Keep the head low and curl yourself into the child's pose. Think about moving before you actually move. And then rising up slowly, stacking the spine one dot at a time as the head lifts. Find yourself back in your seated posture, either cross-legged or kneeling. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Let the eyes close. Let your breathing settle. Take a long breath in. Slow breath out. Inhaling belly, side ribs, chest. Exhaling chest, side ribs, belly. Sit with the residue of the practice. Place the palms together. Bow your head to your heart. And very softly and together we bow our hearts. Blink the eyes open and lift the head. Thank you very much.